Satnam, welcome. This is our Lunar Living live stream, episode 1. I'm your hostess, Kalina Casa, Satmom, SATMOM.com. And this is your weekly return to natural rhythm and conscious growth. And so with each breath, there's a full cycle of life. We experience a full cycle of life in each breath. The natural cycle of life. As we inhale, becoming, rising into form, pausing, moment of fullness, completion. Then as we exhale, a soft release, letting go, emptiness, small death. And again, life, death, rebirth, happening moment by moment in the cyclical nature of our bodies. So the seasons reflect this. The lunar cycle is our most potent access to embodying this rhythm. So we've got the dark moon, the emptying, the unseen, the new moon, the seed of intention and inspiration. First quarter moon, where we notice what has to tweak and be shifted in order to stay on trajectory with the desired growth. The full moon, fullness, illumination, peak energy. And then the waning and the release, the return. And then the last quarter, where there's a little bit of tribulation and honing and re-clarifying of what still needs to release so we can return and reignite the next process. So as we consciously move through this, we return to our natural rhythm. We start to trust that nothing's truly lost, and that every ending is just part of a new becoming. Every release creates space for something new. So growth doesn't only happen in big moments. It's in the infinite potential in every breath, every choice, every cycle, and every time we gently return to ourselves. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments and say hi. Let me know where you're coming from. And also, so you want to go and download the Lunar Living workbook, which I put a link to in the post beneath this. We're going to walk through some parts of that workbook today in this. And as we go through these week by week episodes, we will be working with that workbook. So I want you to download that for free. It's a free download. You can print it out. There are journal pages that we will work with, which you can do daily. You can do just weekly with the weekly lunar phase. So let's just take a moment to arrive. Find your seat. If you're in a chair, find your feet on the floor. Coming into your body, noticing your breath. Filling your belly all the way up to your collarbones, letting your shoulders relax. Wiggle your toes. Move your ribs, hips, and head a little bit. Shoulders. Maybe look around. Use your eyes, coming fully back into your body. Find your sits bones. Rock a little bit, coming into balance with yourself as we consciously go into connection with the rhythm of the moon. Finding depth in your sits bones, and notice if you're forward, you can sit back a little and you find your grounded spot in your seat. Your spine naturally holds itself. Shoulders can relax. Nothing to do, just here, receiving this transmission. Inhale fully, hands on your body. And exhale out of your mouth with a little sound. Little sigh, just releasing everything else for a moment and being present here. So first, checking in where we are in the cycle. So we're just emerging from the new moon in Pisces, where we experienced a lot of dissolving and dissolution, personal identity dissolving and dissolving of structures around us that we had created that could not withstand where we truly want to go and the energy with which we truly want to live life. So now we're in the early waxing moon phase. And this feels like a beginning, but it's not yet visible. It's not fully formed. It's not fully clear. So we may feel that nudge or that spark of new energy, but we probably still feel a little tender, a little inward, a little unclear still. That's part of this phase. Thursday brings the first quarter moon. The moon that day will be in the sign of Cancer. So it's an opportunity to call yourself home, understand family, belonging, drop into emotional potency and deeper alignment. So it will be kind of a choice point where we'll experience a bit of friction that reminds us what was our intention for this cycle, and how do we drop a little bit more clearly into that focus. So we've got a lot of Aries initiation now. The sun just moved into Aries. Many of our personal planets are in Aries. Initiation and authority with Aries is catalyzing new dreams and ideas. Neptune also in Aries. Forming new foundations. Saturn also in Aries. We talked about this in previous live streams if you've hopped on. So last February the 20th, that cycle was initiated. March 20th, the sun moving in reactivated this, starting a new astrological new year, bringing this energy into formation for our year. So before March closes, the sun passes over Neptune and Saturn, activating this energy that first came through in February as Neptune and Saturn connected at 0 degrees Aries. So now they're about 1 degree, but it doesn't really matter. This is the first formative degrees of the whole zodiac cycle. So above and beyond a lunar cycle, a yearly cycle, or anything, this brings us back to a 36-year cycle. It also brings in astrology that's we haven't seen in over 6,000 years. So the potential to create something new is very, very present now, as long as we use this period and this Aries energy to take personal responsibility for our dreams and bring that inspiration down to earth, anchoring it into our own life. That's when it can get traction. That's when it's naturally shared without having to be teachery or preachy. Shifting from simply imagining and dreaming into it to actively building. Yeah. So the somatic theme of our week is honoring the unseen beginning and nourishing it, even though we don't have total clarity yet. We have enough clarity to know which energy of ours moves towards that and which moves away from it. We can viscerally feel that in our bodies, and we'll do that in a moment. So not rushing clarity, even though there is an urge to figure it all out right now. Allowing intentions to root, letting things grow slowly. There's Aries energy, but we don't have to rush. We have to keep focused on how are we applying ourselves fully and completely present with that next step, not rushing it, not trying to get past it, and not angry that we're not at a different, better, more exciting step. How can we bring our presence there and really enliven each step as we move through it? Staying with our body, not jumping ahead, trusting that subtle growth right now. So somatic cues, noticing where we feel openness or resistance. The openness is a yes, I can move forward with that. The resistance, the stiffening, the shoulders moving in, the heart concave. Hi, Eleni, to protect itself. That is what the body feels like when the body's telling us, no, that's not in alignment with my value, my dreams, my rooted presence in life, what I want to create here, what I'm stepping away from and what I'm moving into. And the stuff we're stepping away from immediately feels worse and worse in the body. Immediate tension, restriction, shutdown. Whereas the things we're here to move into, immediately more visceral, open, relaxation, tingles, the sensation. So take a moment with your breath. Hands can be maybe on your heart and lower belly, heart and womb space, whatever that is. And you can do this in your chair, you can do this standing. Think of something that is such a full-on yes for you. Breathe into it. Notice the subtle sensations in your body as you think of that thing. It doesn't have to be real right now. It could be a potential you may have never experienced in this body. And as you think of that full on yes, notice your feelings, not your thought process. Just focus on the yes. Notice the openness feelings, somatic feelings in your body. And then, so easy to do nowadays, call up something that is a full on no for you and notice your body. Notice the subtle shift. Breathing, just being gentle and just noticing. And just noticing what feels like it is beginning for you. Hi, Mocha. What's beginning? So we're walking the week of fresh beginnings. And on Thursday, we'll be called to more consciously co-create that beginning in one small, simple way. Okay. So this week, we're going to be moving through a few different moon signs. So, excuse me, each 2.5 days, the moon shifts signs. So today and Tuesday, the moon is in Gemini. So Gemini is natural to change, spontaneity, and is high in communication. Geminis love to communicate, and they communicate profusely well, powerfully well. There we go. So harmony, a cool head and warm heart. Gemini's properties are masculine, extroverted. This is an air sign. It's mutable and adaptable. Gemini rules the shoulders, arms, hands, respiratory system, bronchial tubes, and lungs. So it's a good time to notice how you're breathing and how you're expressing your heart through your shoulders, arms, and hands. Wednesday, the moon moves into Cancer. So home, family, cooking and gardening might come up for you as desires. And it's a beautiful time for gardening as we've just passed this new moon in Pisces, start of the year, start of spring. Great time for seed planting, both figuratively and practically. So this is belonging and emotional potency. Cancer is feminine, introverted. It's a water sign, and it's about initiating change. It governs the stomach, the mucosa, ovary, womb, vagina, breast, lymph system, and the male genital and reproductive organs as well. So first quarter moon is on Thursday, a choice point where we're consciously called to steer ourselves toward our desired destination or feel the consequences of not doing that. Ooh, Gemini moon, that's awesome. Hi, Vesna. All right. So we will be making this choice from our feeling of belonging and desire to not lose ourselves in belonging, but to find spaces where all of us can be seen and held, and where our emotional potency can be present for others as well as ourselves. That's not our victim. That's our ability to be present, even when other people are in their victim. It's our ability to be present when our victim mentality comes floating through without grabbing onto it, making it reality. Okay, so Friday. Oh, Friday moon is still in Cancer. Saturday and Sunday, moon moves into Leo, magnetic, unapologetically radiant and admirable. Those are features of our fellow Leos. Let critique help your personal expression rather than shut you down. And that Leo is a masculine, extroverted, fiery, fixed, and very persistent sign. Leo rules the heart, the blood circulation, blood pressure, and our heart rate. Interesting. So if you've got things with blood pressure and heart rate going on, be extra mindful of them over the weekend. Just notice what the Leo moon does. And maybe because it is such a fiery sign, you could experience more circulation, more pressure. So just be mindful of that. And also when we have that, we can call on the left nostril, the moon side, the lunar side, the feminine side of our body, to relax blood pressure and heart rate. Okay. So we also, with this new moon, we transition from Indigenous wisdom, clan mother, wisdom keeper, to clan mother, weighs the truth. So as we noticed with the Pisces season of last month, Wisdom Keeper asked us to know, to see. She helped us remember to see clearly and honor the truths that we saw, whether we agree with them or disagree with them. So just pause for a moment and notice what truths came through for you as we walked with Wisdom Keeper. Feel free to put a hand on your body in a way that feels comfortable, on your thighs for grounding. Anything that feels good, just bringing yourself back to your body and back to a remembrance of the truths that came through. And you can jot it down if you want in your journal or in the workbook that you've downloaded. So this moon cycle invites us to move beyond simply seeing and knowing that truth into embodying it through our choices, boundaries, and actions, to live it with integrity. We move into wisdom, into the original clan mother weighs the truth. The medicine of weighs the truth reminds us that balance is not passive. It's an active relationship with equality, responsibility, and right action. She's the keeper of divine law, which may not have anything to do with human law. She's the keeper of balance and of right action, where Wisdom Keeper has helped us to see the truth. Weighs the truth asks us, how will you now live it? This moon teaches us to examine where we're out of balance, where we've given our power away, or where justice, inner or outer, is asking to be restored, to bring things back into harmony. So here we are shifting from revelation to embodiment, from knowing to choosing, and from awareness to aligned action. So this cycle invites us not just to hold the wisdom, but to live it. I think I've said that a few times now, where embodied wisdom begins with this new moon. We don't have to have it perfectly. We just have to take that one next step to living it. So it may feel like a subtle call, noticing where things are out of balance, making small, honest adjustments. So we want to integrate and come into greater integrity and personal alignment. So each week, we'll step into her medicine a little bit more deeply, until we transition into the next grandmother. And coming back to your body, where am I being asked to live more fully what I already know? You can put it in the chat. It doesn't have to be a huge life-changing motion. Can we allow it to be small, unformed, unrushed? Not all at once, but no longer stuck. What one step is the universe calling you to in clarity? And in keeping and weighing your truths. So what can we carry into this week? Pausing before acting on new ideas. Maybe journaling about what's quietly emerging. Reducing the pressure to have full clarity, but responding to the nudges of truth within you. Thursday, more active calibration towards our intention. Notice will be called to a bit more clarity and action then. So this week, we're allowing gentle beginnings. No need to rush what is still forming, yet staying mindful of our continuous alignment toward this energy. Keep returning to your body. Stay with your breath. Trust the rhythm. Let the cycle guide you. It may be new now, but as we walk with it, we can receive the wisdom, the grounding, the clarity, the presence. Thank you so much for being here. Happy new moon, happy spring, and we'll be in touch again on Thursday. Take care. Put any other comments, actually, before I wrap it up, is there anything, any other questions? Yes. Fits with the Aries, Saturn, Neptune astrology. It just totally all corresponds. It's amazing how we're getting like each way that we trust her rhythm, each way that we look at it through the various lenses the astrology gives us through the moon. It keeps coming back to the same simple message. Focus on what you're creating. Stop fighting what you're not creating anymore. Stop giving your energy away to the things that don't deserve it. Trust her rhythm. Thank you all. Have a beautiful week. I'll see you soon.